Hi, welcome to yoga. My name is Lindsay and I'm excited to teach you today. A little bit of a note today. I actually threw my back out a couple hours before recording this. So low back stuff, gonna take a low back class. So I hope you enjoy it and we'll just go with it, okay? So I'm okay right now. I just need to make sure that you guys know that so that with demonstrations or just the pace in general today that this is going on. So let's get on the mats, make some space, have some props that you need. Let's sit on a block today with legs crossed. We're kind of coming into the summertime. So there's a lot of yang energy, kind of up and out energy. So let's feel into the block. Place the sits bones evenly on the block. Lengthen the spine, tuck the chin, tongue behind the upper palate. And then inhale, lift the shoulders and roll them down the back. Let's do that again. Inhale, lift the shoulders. Roll them around the body and down the back. And one more time. Really extending, rounding the chest. And then place your hand on your lower abdomen and sink into those sits bones and lift the spine such that you feel like you're leaning back a little bit and starting to engage some of this lower core area. Floating the ribs above the pelvis. Feeling energy streaming up and out the arms. Place the right hand back on the leg and lift and lengthen with the inhale. And exhale. Lengthening each inhale. And as you exhale, really drawing those lower ribs in, drawing the core in. And just like we had our hand on our low abdomen, observing how our breath can really rise from the low abdomen. So we can breathe into our whole body. Good. So if you'd like to play any music during this class, go ahead. We'll go into our warm-up, bringing the right hand by the left ear. Let's pull the head down to the right shoulder. And lengthen with the breath, opening up the top of the left shoulder. And exhaling, switching sides. Exhaling, bringing the weight of the arm on top of the head. And just like we were rolling our shoulders, you can get some open space in the neck and heavy, low shoulders. And then exhale, place the hands behind the head and draw the elbows in, lifting the chest. Elbows in, side ribs in, lengthen. Good, and then sink the head until you feel that stretch in the back of the upper body. And inhale, rise. Twist to the right. Lengthening through the chest and making sure we have nice, even contact. The left sit bone's going to be a little heavier, but and then exhale, let's go to the other side. Really feeling sturdy in our spine. Good, and walk the hands out. Lengthen the chest to the ground. Come onto the fingertips so there's a little bit of dynamism in the arms and the outer shoulders. And really use this to lengthen the head away. Roll the biceps up. And you might feel some interesting stretches in your outer shoulders, top of the shoulder, elbows. Dropping the head. And inhale, coming back up. Remove the block. Let's make our way to tabletop. Using the abdomen to support the lower back and spine. Let's inhale, lengthen and lift. And exhale, draw the abdomen in, curl the neck and rib cage. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, round the back. Inhale, neutral spine. Make the left leg long behind you. Open up the right arm. Come to a supported Vashisthasana here. And really plant the left leg flat, lifting the inner arch. Lengthen the shin and the top of the right foot. And really use the core muscles to engage this twist. Again, drawing this right shoulder down. And exhale, switch sides. On the inhale, lengthen the right leg. Lengthen the whole side of the body. Open up that right arm. And then roll the left bicep forward. So that's going to help you keep the right foot flat. Bicep rolling forward, top of the shoulder down the back, and exhale. Back to center. Come to child's pose, look forward. Exhale, untuck the toes, roll the chest between the thumbs, up to baby cobra. Actually, make the tops of the feet long. Pressing the pinky toes, widening the sacrum, squeezing the quads, and then inhale, lengthen and extend, elbows in, side ribs forward, and press that sacrum down. And notice what this does to the breath. Pinky toes down. Exhale, elbows in, untuck the toes, press the hips back. Forehead down. Inhale, come back to downward facing dog, lifting the hips, heels wide. Drop the head. And just, heel toe out, like if you're feeling one side and into that calf muscle and then the left side. Maybe this is your first down dog today, so get comfortable. Enjoy the breath, lengthening the spine, lengthening the rib cage towards the hips, rolling the inner thighs back. Good, inhale, coming forward into plank pose. Drop the knees and then press the hips back into down dog. Let's curl the upper back to plank. Bend the knees, hover, and then sweep those hips back. And get creative here, so really feel into the weight of the arms, the chest. Moving the body, undulating. Play with the weight on the feet and toes and hands, and then Also looking, where are we looking? Looking forward, looking up, looking down, looking in. And then inhale the right leg back. Sweep it forward. Low lunge, drop the left knee. We'll prepare for a little twist here. So bring the heel of the right hand outside of the right knee, and you're going to be pressing that knee into the chest as you turn the chest towards the right. And then squeeze the left leg. And can you lengthen the spine from here in this twist? Don't let the left shoulder come all the way up by the ear. Really draw that top of the shoulder down. Left glute is on fire. And then exhale. Come to child's pose. Inhale, look forward. Squeegee yourself through the arms. Chest up, pinky toes down, cobra. Exhale, back to child's pose. Inhale back to down dog. Inhale the left leg long. Exhale, sweep it forward to the left wrist. Bring that heel of the hand outside the left knee. Drop the right knee. And revolve the chest, not by the shoulders, but really from the heart space. So tap into that heart space. Open up the chest. Right elbow back. And this left hand is really helping the core muscles adjust and helping the chest and the knee come together. You know, in our twist, right glute engaged, like the other side. In our twist, we tend to be super close to our legs, and it gets challenging. So readjust, reteach your body how to be close to the leg. What does that take? Pay attention to the back leg. Pay attention to the way the chest and the spine is moving in the upper body. Exhaling. Let's come back to child's pose. Inhale, look forward, draw the body forward. Low cobra or high cobra if you feel. Exhale, downward facing dog. So because of my back injury, I'm going to be really drawing in this lower abdomen area, bringing the inner hip bones in and inner thighs back. So the injury is the point in which the light can enter. Reach the right leg back. Inhale, low lunge, look forward. So injuries teach us about our body. Exhale the left foot forward. Drop the head. We have to be humble. Inhale, reach the arms coming all the way up. And really respect our bodies and listening to this deep inner wisdom in our nature that needs movement, that craves movement, that craves special care. And we can always learn from our bodies and our injuries. Let's open up the arms, reach for something in the heavens. Exhale, draw everything back through the sits bones, drop the head. Forward pose, inhale halfway. Exhale, place the hands, right foot back. Left foot back, come into plank. Let's come over to Vashisthasana on the right side, opening up the left arm. If this is too challenging, you can bring that left heel back behind you for some extra support, or in front of you. I kind of like the front leg. And exhale back to plank. Strong plank here, heels back, look forward. Tuck the tailbone. Lengthen from the waist and the sides of the ribs. Exhale, left side janusirsasana. Stacking the heels or bringing that right heel forward towards the middle of your mat. And pressing the hips up. Really enjoying how this feels. Exhale, back to plank and downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg back, three-legged dog. Exhale, sweep it forward to the right wrist. Let's come into warrior one, back heel down. Open up the arms. Let's take opposite elbows. Draw those inner shoulders down. Press into the outer back heel. And then with that length through the entire leg, we're creating this nice angle to rotate the chest. Really strong back leg towards this right knee. Okay? Feel the structure here. Inhale, let's raise the arms from this place, not moving the shoulders from where we adjusted. And maybe we take clasp at the top with the pointer finger and thumb free. Maybe we look up. So find your warrior here. Lifting the inner arch of the left foot. And exhale. Surrendered warrior, humble warrior. Bring the arms over the head. Dropping. Getting length. And inhale. Back to low lunge, plank, and take your vinyasa. Really engaging the core all the way through chaturanga. Upward dog and downward facing dog. Find your down dog. Exhale, lift the left leg. Inhale, reach the foot behind the left wrist. Drop the back heel, warrior one. Grab the elbows the opposite way. It feels a little different. And press into that back heel. Create a long line from the navel center, from the right hip, the hip bone in the front of the hip, the ASIS, and just turn that right hip bone slightly forward as you lengthen the upper body. And then open up the arms, clasp the weird way. I have to say it feels very weird. Leaving the pointer finger and thumb open. Notice how that changes the body. You can look up. Strong back leg. Exhale. Take to high plank. And take your vinyasa here. Oh, we forgot the, let's do surrendered warrior. So come to low lunge. And then rotate the arms coming up and over the head. Humble, descending. And then we can take our vinyasa. It's so nice to actually practice the fullness of that warrior one with intention in the arms. Because it's a hard pose. It's hard to move our hips and get the legs and breathe and low shoulders, all of that. So really learning from each pose, what it teaches. Inhale to, if you're in down dog, walk or step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen the chest. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep all the way up. And exhale down. And let's come into chair pose. Heels in, sitting back, lifting the chest. And squeeze those quads together, just like we did in our revolved low lunge, bringing that chest together. Imagine one leg is the chest to the other. So bringing the legs together. I know that sounds really weird, but and then let's open up the arms, reaching for something that you really want and you desire in life. And exhale, forward fold. Halfway. Make your way down to your vinyasa. If you're hopping, your elbows are bent. Close to the chest. And downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg back. Sweep it forward, warrior two here. Open up the arms. Drop into those hips. Lengthen the chest. Then bring the hands behind the sacrum and press the elbows together and roll those shoulders behind the back. And you can keep your gaze towards the middle of the mat as you bend into the right knee. And then exhale, side angle pose. Right elbow to right knee. Left arm by the ear. And use the strength of the back heel pressing down to draw the right hip underneath. Extra credit if you want to bring that right arm by the right ear. Last couple breaths here. Rotating. Getting deep down into that breath to really support everything. And then let's open it up to warrior two. Lengthen the right leg. Heel toe the left in for triangle. Hinging the hips to the back of the room. Right arm comes to shin. Open up the chest. Left inner thigh and the inseam of the left leg is rotating back as the right hip comes in. Breathe and lengthen, and then let's take a balance here into half moon. Left hand on hip. Open up the chest. Right hand comes outside of the pinky toe. And then here, if you like, I'm going to move back so you can see me. If you like, you can bring the right arm next to the right ear and play around with balance a little bit. Maybe you lift both arms up. You can keep a nice micro bend to that right knee if you're having any issues with the balance or lowering that left leg, whatever is available to you. Just be playful. And then drop the left hip to square the right. Let's come into warrior three. Reach the arms forward. Ball of the left foot is reaching back. And notice I have a little bend to the right foot, and that's going to help me to lift and lengthen the spine and just kind of get grounded and get into this pose. Look forward. Whoop. Exhale, bring that left knee up to hug at stand. And then lower down, shake it out. And here we are. Come to the top of your mat. Lengthen, squeeze the legs together, lengthen the spine. Open up the chest, reach the arms. Remember, lead from that heart space. Exhale, lower the upper body. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, take the vinyasa. Whether you hop, step, or jump, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg long. Exhale, sweep it forward to the left wrist. Right heel down. Come into warrior two. So prep for this. We're engaging the inner thighs and the quads. Shoulders over hips. And then let's take the clasp the funky way, drawing those elbows back, bending that left knee. Then you can look over the middle of your mat. And keep that strength in the back leg. Inner thigh rotates back and in. And then reach from this left side body, coming into our side angle. Rotate the chest. And it's going to feel heavy on this left side unless you really dig your core in and engage that right glute so that the left side can be long and it's not too heavy on this left leg. I guess both glutes are engaging here. So rotate the chest. Try this little variation if you like with the left hand by the ear. Good. And then inhale, warrior two, lengthen the left leg, heel toe the right to come into triangle. Squeeze the hips back, lengthen into triangle. So I like to think of my left leg, my left hip's totally strong, and it's like fitting into this round cap, which is my right side of my body. So everything's kind of in that straight line, if that makes sense. And then the right elbow bends to the right hip, bend the left knee. And let's come into half moon, a little balance here. And then you can bend the left knee or keep the right leg at some distance from the floor and play with a little balance here. Bringing that left arm by the ear, the right arm next to it. And just really long in the body, strong legs. And then drop the right hip. Look forward, reach the arms by the ears for warrior three. So if you took this variation on the first side, do the same. If your arms were in a different place, that's cool. The object is to strengthen the left leg, breathe and lift the entire body out of the left hip so that you can lengthen the chest and express from the leg and arms. And then inhale, rise to standing. Bring that right knee with you, hug the knee in. And exhale, Samasthiti will come to mountain pose at the top of our mat. Cool, man. Little balance stuff. Really helps these tiny muscles get connected so we can perform better and get farther in our practice. Inhale, let's come to chair. Sit back. Exhale, hands to heart center. And let's twist over to the left, bringing the right elbow with it. And the right knee is going to want to come forward. So you have to come out of your twist a bit, adjust the right hip back. Press the knees together. And come as far as you can in your twist. And then we'll come to twisted side angle, bringing the right foot back, getting heavy in the left, So another balance for you here. If you want to bring that right heel to the glute, and then step all the way back and hook that right elbow in again, if it wasn't already. And then press the hands, lengthen. I'm feeling a nice stretch in the left oblique. Legs are strong. Good, and then optional arm balance here. Hands come to the side of the mat, bringing the left elbow to the left hip, right to the outside of the upper knee. And extend the legs. But that's optional for folks who want to try. And coming back to low lunge, bring the hands down, plank pose, and exhale, lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog, exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward, bend the knees and hop or step to the top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen. Forward fold, and then bring the feet together, knees together. Sit the hips back, chair pose. And imagine pulling this low abdomen, pulling the abs in, lengthening the low back. So we want to keep the back as long as possible, and we want to be bringing the sits bones back as well. So find that happy medium in the glutes with the core engaged, and then come to standing here. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good, we'll do this on the other side. Same cues here, so remember this left knee is going to want to come forward, so pay attention to the hips. Sit back into chair. Exhale, hands on the heart. Twist over to the right. And I like to keep my feet and knees together because it helps to adjust the hips that way and the weight in the body in general. And come to a comfortable place where you still get that length. Hips are square. Breathing. And then getting heavy in the right foot. Bring the left foot up by the glute and step it way, way, way back, keeping the twist. So high lunge, twist here. Left glutes engaged, lengthening, and then those who want to take the arm balance, do this on the other side. So my right elbow is coming to outside my right hip, left elbow is coming outside of right knee, and then I'm more tipping to the side, enough that my body can get to the ground with my hip touching the elbows. I'm not doing great. This is hard on this side because I wasn't coming from. But then you lengthen out the legs. It's like a yogi breakdancer move. If you want to be a yogi breakdancer. There we go. And make your way to your vinyasa, coming through low lunge, plank, up dog, and downward facing dog. Let's go into child's pose, bend the knees, sit back, drop the head. So you shouldn't feel your knees at all, or your hips. You do widen the knees. Lengthen the low spine. Really enjoy how that feels on the low back. make our way to downward facing dog here. And then inhale, walk the hands back to the feet. And then drop the hips, heel toe, the feet off the mat so the heels are in. And then come into a squat malasana here. So pressing knees into hips, hips into knees. Drawing the low back down. And then crow here, we'll bring our hands to the mat, lifting the hips. And then keeping that wideness in the sacrum and in the outer shoulders. Come onto the tippy toes and wrap the knees around the upper arms. Making sure the hands are in touch, like the full palm is on the ground. Then from here, just tip forward, bringing one foot off and then the next foot off to touch toes in crow. Another option that's a little less advanced but still really fun and cool is coming forward, bringing the knees to the upper arms, kind of like a shelf. And then pressing the arms straight. The thing with the shelf one is it's harder to stay up for longer because the weight's more on your structure versus through the core. So that's why you can come out, try this a couple times. So you can even bring the toes together here, a little closer together. Again, bringing the knees up by the upper shoulders, like the tricep area. Hands are firm, and then lift off is coming from the toes and the hips into curl again. Good. And then let's come to wide-legged forward fold, grabbing opposite elbows and rocking side to side. Good. And looking forward, come into your downward facing dog. And lift the left leg and sweep it forward to the left wrist. Right heel down. And let's open up the arms into warrior two. Okay. So we will do a bind here, and this will carry over into our triangle as well. So come forward from your warrior two, bringing that left hand on a block or by the left ankle. And then from here, if you want to try out the bind, you're going to lower down further. This is already a lot, then stick with it. Or maybe bring that block outside the foot, kind of get lower. You can bring the right arm by the ear. Those who want to try the bind, we're going to bring the shoulder down by the knee. And then lengthen the arm underneath the body. And then rotate the thumb in a rainbow. And then karate chop up, grab the right wrist or fingers or what have you, and then come into your twist. And then we'll make our way to find, wherever you are, I want you to really get a lot out of this pose. So left hip's coming in, right leg is strong. And then walk the right heel in, lengthen the left triangle. So if you have the bind,
Keep it for this triangle posture, dropping the head and gently coaxing that left side body towards the inner left leg. And then from here, let's try balance. Bend the left knee and the right like you're coming into half moon. And just be playful, heading heavy into that left leg to stand on it. And the right can float. It's kind of up to the yogi to decide what feels best. Okay. And then from here, release the bind. Come to squat position, heels wide. And let's rock side to side, just opening that left knee, swivel to the right, opening the right knee. Kind of get a nice movement into the hips, okay? It's like a playful malasana. And then let's come up, make your way to down dog. Optional vinyasa here. I'm going to take this on the other side. Inhale, lift the right leg back. Sweep it forward to the right wrist. Left heel down. Let's open up the arms to warrior two. Breathe and find that warrior two. And then from here, find your block. If you took it on the other side, bring the block outside the right foot and lift the left arm by the ear. If you want to try the bind, left hand on hip, right hand comes inside the leg, so shoulder and knee are touching. And then drop the torso further, kind of karate chop the arm underneath the body with the thumb towards the ceiling, and then make the grab of the left hand. So right hand's going to like grab those left fingers or the left wrist, and then the chest is going to start to revolve. And just be gentle, left leg strong, know where you're coming from, and then know where you're going to. Release the heart, open the chest, coax that left side body towards the right knee. It's like rewiring our brain in these postures of how to be, how to exist in our body. Bringing conscious awareness, lengthen the right leg, triangle pose. Keep the bind if you had it on the other side. And just play with this, bringing the left foot in. That's my block. Strengthen the right leg if you can, dropping the right inner thigh. And also remembering to drop the head. Release the head and neck. Good. Now from here we'll do the little balance. And this is to play with weight and balance and what we've been learning so far. So right leg bends, left foot kind of hops up to meet it, eventually floating. And relax the sacrum, lean into that right foot, and lengthen the left leg. Takes good concentration, the yogi's breath. And then exhale, drop the hips, come into malasana variation. Elbows to knees, and then rock heel, toe on both sides. Let's have a seat. And come into a twist here. So bring that left heel by the right hip and draw the right to over so that it's flat on the floor outside the left knee. Lengthen the chest and then twist to the right, opening the shoulders to the right. Left elbow on right knee. Open up the chest. Look over that right shoulder if you can. And what I love about twists is it's slowing down our nervous system. We're intentionally going up the spinal cord. Just imagine releasing all the different things in the spine. Really resetting the nervous system. Let's come to fire log pose. So if your right hip, outer hip is really tight, you can bring a blanket to cushion. What we're doing is we're stacking the shins so that the knees and ankles are on top of one another. So I'm going to put a little blanket here for my right knee. And then from here you can grab opposite elbows or reverse namaste and lean forward. And if you want to take this further, you can bring the elbows to the ground and drop the head. This is a cool pose because it's kind of like pigeon. It takes a lot of strength to be soft, to be more vulnerable, to be more yielding. It also feels very contained. Inhale, coming back up. Let's take this to the other side. Bring the right heel outside the left hip. Hug the left knee in and place the left foot down. And then lengthen the spine. And turn the chest over to the right. Bringing that left hand behind the sacrum. So it's going to help support the back. And keep turning so that the left chin comes over the left shoulder. And bring that right elbow outside of the knee. And lengthen everything out. Again, turning and recoiling the cord in our body. Making space for new thoughts, new possibilities, newness and expression, communication, joy. Each exhale, take another inhale, and on each exhale, the breath is going deeper, you're twisting a little bit more. And then fire log pose here. Lean back, bring the right foot out a bit so that the left knee can rest on top. And again, I'm seeing this kind of floating space between my knee and my right ankle, so I'm going to bring the blanket here. And that feels good. And then the top of the foot, both feet are engaged. So we're bringing as if we're standing on the ground. So the ball of the foot's engaged, the toes are flared. And then take the variation that you like. Grabbing opposite elbows and leaning forward. Or walking those hands out. Bringing the elbows to the mat and dropping the head. So with the engagement in the feet, I wish I'd mentioned this on the other side. I'm letting it go. Bringing the feet in that engagement really helps to bring that energy into the hips and creates just a more solid container for that release in the left psoas and hip. And I can feel a nice stretch in my back and my neck. And then inhale, walk the hands up. And let's come to a wide-legged pose. Actually, we're going to bring that left heel in. So let's come to janusirsasana here. And press the left heel strongly into the inner thigh. And then twisting over to the left. We are again going to bring our torso towards our leg. So slide that right top of the hand towards the foot, grab the insole of the foot, and pull the right side towards the right knee. And the left arm can come up and over the head to grab the other side of the foot, and that will create a nice opportunity to twist the heart even more towards the ceiling. So if you need a strap, probably you're feeling pretty flexible at this point, so it should be easier to make the grab. But that is always an option if you need it. You know, some days we're injured, some days we need a little help, we need a little break, and that's wonderful to take it. It keeps us balanced. Good, last couple breaths here. Resting into that right leg. Really feeling that stretch in the left side body. And the left hip's kind of coming up, but it's also pressing down to get more opening. And then gently walk the hands to bring the body up. And we'll do this on the other side. So let's come to a straddle and make our way to the other side first through the center. So bring the arms out in front, heels away, lengthen the chest. And so the legs are going to be engaged. Tops of the thighs are rolling down, hips down, and then keeping a length through the spine, through the heart. Engaging the legs again, if I do forget. And then notice what that does to the spine. And exhale, coming back up. Lengthen. Inhale. Bend the right knee, bring it to touch the inner thigh, that foot, and then twist over to the right. So janusirsasana prep on the left side. So we turn to the right to kind of get our spine in that positioning so it's easier to twist once we get the foot grab. So it's a little cheat, yogi cheat, the best kind. The kind that's good for our body. Okay, now lengthen the top of the arm away. Grab the insole of the left foot. And then the right arm comes up and over the head. And we're slowly with our breath softening the body, the upper body, the left side of the body, and lengthening out, squeezing the left quad, and creating that, with the left leg engaged, we can create a more of a dynamic of bringing that torso towards the leg. And it's also easier with the grab to make this rotation. And breathing, let it be fluid and exploratory. Moving from the heart. And take another couple breaths since we spent some nice time in the last pose. Good. And then inhale, gently coming up. And let's make our way to our backs. Just moving gently. So we can, from this point, take any postures that feel good to you to move into Shavasana. I'll be talking through a shoulder stand and variation, but it's up to you. You can take Happy Baby, you can cross knees and twist to the side, whatever feels good. Because, we did these intense twists, and I want you guys to feel connected to what your body needs right now. And then bringing the heels in, arms underneath the chest, the upper arms, and then press the hands down to lift the hips. And bring the pelvis into the heels of the hand. So you can just have a passive, more restorative shoulder stand, streaming energy up through the legs and toes. And this can be just a nice counter pose to everything that we did. Maybe you come more into the full shoulder stand with the heels of the hand up by even as close as the tips of the bottom of the shoulder blade. And the weight is on the top of the spine, that bump on everyone's spine that protrudes at the base of the neck. All the weight is spreading from that bone throughout the top of the shoulders, and that's going to help to free the neck, the larynx, the back of the head, the temples, everything, and create this nice inversion to really nourish the upper body, helps the lymph to drain and move things that it can't get to when we aren't moving. And then slowly lowering the legs down, bringing the tops of the feet behind your head. Arms in a clasp, long on your mat. And just come into cloud pose as best suits you. Remembering the cue to the top of the shoulders. As these poses get a little bit more intense on the neck, but they're meant to infuse a bit of fear, a bit of trepidation, but allow the opening through the spine. Lift the hips. Draw the knees by the ears in Pranayadasana. Hands are in a clasp, and then the hips are really lifting up and rolling over. And then slowly coming out, lowering down, and making your way to Shavasana. So if you need to just rest here a moment, if you took more of a shoulder stand, just take a moment here to rest and restore the movement. And then for Shavasana, we can do Shavasana prep with feet wide, knees knocking in, or cobbler pose with knees wide and hands grabbing ankles. Maybe rolling to the top of the head, taking a little fish pose. Whatever you need to do. And once you're relaxed and long and stretched out, take a moment to give your body praise and acknowledgement for what it gives us and shows us every day. Now we must humble ourselves in our injuries, and listen to our heart whenever we move. So relaxing and closing the eyes. Our time is up for now, but I look forward to seeing you next week. Have a beautiful rest of your Shavasana and rest of your day. Namaste. Until next time.